Picture yourself as a skilled cybersecurity specialist.
Tasked and authorized to spy on a suspected terrorist as there is a reason to believe he is about to commit his next attack. Your employer, the military intelligence, has instructed you to capture and analyze his internet traffic to determine whether these suspicions are true or not.
So how will you accomplish this?
Disclaimer.
This video is for educational purposes only and does not provide a step-by-step guide on how to monitor someone's internet traffic. It rather discusses the techniques used by hackers to do so, and would like to point that while catching criminals might be a good thing, taking the law into your own hands and hacking someone or something without proper authorization can still result in serious legal consequences. Okay, so if an ethical hacker is tasked with spying on a suspect's internet traffic, their first challenge would be to get on the same network as the suspect they are tasked with spying on. To achieve this, they may take 3 approaches, so let me walk you through them one by one. Firstly, they could simply pose as a new employee or a repair person at the suspect's workplace, and gain access to the same network as him. This would be the easiest and most effective way in a scenario where a government agency like the military intelligence is involved. However, if the suspect is unemployed, and there is no place other than his home where he might be spending most of his time, a hacker would then try to hack his Wi-Fi password through multiple means such as performing an evil twin attack, a handshake attack, or a WPS pin attack, and connect to the same network as him. If you're interested in learning about how these attacks are done, you can go ahead and watch this video, but nonetheless, if this strategy also fails, the hacker can then use a tool like Metasploit to hack or compromise a computer on the same network as the suspect, and then use that computer to access his network. Once the hacker is inside the suspect's local network, they can go ahead and monitor the suspect's internet activity through a simple technique known as the man-in-the-middle attack. Now, in order to understand what a man-in-the-middle attack is, imagine this is the network that the suspect is connected to, along with some other devices like smartphones, TVs, etc. So basically what happens is when someone using these devices accesses the internet, by typing something on their web browser, or maybe opening a social media app on their phone, their device sends their request to the router, and the router, which is basically a device providing them with Wi-Fi, forwards this request to the web server of the respective app or website across the internet. Once the web server replies with a response back to the router sends the response back to the device, and allows the user to get on with their day. If you're interested in learning about how all of this is happening in detail, you can go ahead and watch this video on networking basics for hackers, but for now, just know that the mechanism behind all of this is a protocol known as the Address Resolution Protocol, and what it does is it basically informs all the devices in a network, where all the other devices are, using something called their IP and MAC address. So when this device sent the request to the router, it knew where the router was, as it had both the router's IP and MAC address, and similarly when the router sent the request back to the device, it also knew the device's location thanks to its IP and MAC address. Now when a hacker is on the same network, and is thinking of performing a man-in-the-middle attack, what he can do is basically place himself in between the router and the targeted device, using a tool like Ettercap on Kali Linux, by first telling the router that the device at 10.1.1.2 doesn't live at this MAC address, but actually lives at this MAC address, and then telling the targeted device that the router at 10.1.1.4 doesn't live at this MAC address but actually lives at this MAC address. After doing this, a hacker can then easily go ahead and capture all of the traffic between these two devices, but the mission wouldn't be over yet, as he would still need a way to analyze the traffic he captures. For this, a tool called Wireshark is widely used, as it provides a bunch of specialized filters for network traffic analysis, but in a scenario where we need to keep an eye on the terrorist to look for any suspicious activity, another tool called Snort would be more appropriate. Using this tool, we can easily develop an automated spying system that is modified to look for suspicious words in the suspect's internet activity, and alert us when it does so. Anyway guys, so that was it for the video. Before ending, I would like to mention that while performing a man-in-the-middle attack may not be so difficult, the captured traffic can still be encrypted, if the website visited by the target is secured by SSL or TLS encryption. So if you're interested in learning about how hackers can bypass this encryption, or still utilize these encrypted packets to gather intelligence, let me know in the comments section below and I'll see you in the next one.